Hey, it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel. So today's craft with me, I'm going to be working in my mini altered book and I'm just going to be doing some collage. I've got some scrap papers to the side here and that's what I wanted to use for a spread in this journal. And I also wanted to show you a couple of things that I picked up from the charity shop because whenever I see gardening books like this, I can't resist. So I picked these two up just on a whim. I literally saw the spines and I thought, yep, they are going to be something that I'm interested in. And as soon as I opened it and did a quick flick through of the book, I was like, yep, I'm definitely going to pick this one up. So this one here is actually a Observer's Book of Garden Flowers, so it's the same series as this one. So this is the Wildflowers version, but as you can see, it's in a lot better condition. Now I know I've been using this one for a year, but it wasn't in as good nick. Now this is a lot more like bright green, but I figured once I finished with this book I can just move into this one and it will be nice to have these as a little bit of a series. So maybe I can try and pick up some of the other ones, because as you can see here there's ones with like birds and butterflies, all sorts of different ones. So I might see if I can pick up a few of the others, because I just thought that it would be nice to have these as a series. And of course any of the pages that I tear out when I'm prepping the book I can also use within my other collaging as well. So I just thought that was a neat little find to have the same one in a series here. And I'm just imagining, like, you know, having a couple of these and they're all altered books, so you know I can have the same image on the front here in terms of having a cutout. I think that would be really fun to have on this book as well, and then that just creates a bit of a series with these. But yeah, as you can see, it's in a lot better condition. So when I've finished working in the pages of this book, I'll definitely do a video doing some like prep, because I've definitely learned a few things whilst I've been working in this one. And yeah, we will prep this book and then we'll move into a volume 2, because this little book has just been so fun to work in and I've really enjoyed having the format and being able to just dip in and out. Like, it's taken me over a year to get this far. I probably don't have too many more to go if I don't want the book to absolutely burst at the seams. There's quite a lot going on here. It's really chunky, but yeah, I've still got a fair few pages left to fill, and then I'll probably go back because I've got like some blank ones here, or the pages that I mentioned in I think the previous altered book video where I want to sort of embellish further, like this page needs a bit more work, so we can go back into that. But then yeah, we've got this one to work on. And then there's also this one. So this is also a garden flowers book. This is Amateur Gardening Pocket Book of Garden Flowers. I haven't seen this before, and this one's also in really good condition, so I'm not sure whether to make this into an altered book or not. It's slightly larger than the one that I've got here, but it's sort of a similar size in terms of the thickness, so this might be a good one to work into. So let me know, do you think I should go to this one or should I go to the one that's like the same in the series? Maybe I'll just create loads of little mini altered books and have them as a little collection. But this one has some beautiful images, so like look at these. This is exactly what I love from books like this. So I don't know, maybe I might even have a go at gutting this book completely and then keeping all of these pages to use for the images, because I can see myself as I would work in this potentially not wanting to like cover up anything. So I might have to just take these out and use them separately and then use the cover, because again this one's in really good condition, so there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe then I can bind some other pages into this and have this as another project. But basically I'm just getting really addicted to the altered books at the moment, especially on this like smaller scale. It's almost like A6-ish size. So yeah, those are two fun books that I picked up recently that I thought you might like to see. So I'm going to be doing some collage in this book here. Now I might just do a background. I don't know if I want to do a full spread, so let's find a page to work on. So let's go for this blank page here because I want to fill it in. And yeah, maybe I'll just do a bit of a patchwork collage background. I've literally just got like scraps from all sorts of different things, like there's torn edges and all sorts, like, you know, nothing goes to waste around here. So I'm just going to do a really simple collage background, and I might even pick one of the images from those books to fussy cut and use as a bit of a focal point for this. So I am probably going to end up covering up quite a bit within this page, which is why for the second book that I showed you, that's probably why I wouldn't want to use the pages in that book in this way, because like for this page I don't really mind covering up some of these little black and white illustrations, but for one that has such beautiful imagery like that one, I'd feel like really bad for covering everything up. So that's definitely something that I think I'm gonna tackle, and then that will just be a nice project to have as something slightly different. So having a journal out of a hardcover book, which I haven't actually done. I can't remember the last time I actually did that, like using an old book cover to make a journal. So it's not quite then an altered book. I mean, it is in a way, but I'm not then using the actual pages of the book itself to journal on. So yeah, that could be something different. I mean, I don't have enough projects going on at the moment. I don't know how many projects you tend to have on the go as you're creating. I always feel like I just jump from one thing to another, because I was thinking the other day, I've also got my paint sample journal that I definitely want to do some more creating in. I've got that off to the side here. So yeah, this one, I started doing it, and it's really interesting, like shape and size with these skinny pages. So I definitely need to do some more like prepping of backgrounds within this and working within these pages. Like I think I was even going to do like a long tag for this one. I think there's a piece of paper in there. It may be glued in. Oh no, there we go. Knocking my glue stick as I do that. Yeah, so I haven't forgotten about this one, because I have had a few questions asking about this journal. So I definitely need to work in this one as well. But it was just with the Junk Journal July stuff, I was all focused on that. So now that I've got more time to work on other things, then I will probably dive back into doing some videos on creating in that journal as well, just to have a bit of variety, because that's why I think I've enjoyed having this altered book, is that I'm able to just dip in and out. It's not something that I'm like constantly working in, so it almost feels like I won't get bored of it, if that makes sense, because if I do a few pages and then I fancy something different, then I can just put it down, work on something else, and then come back to it when, like now, I'm feeling that I want to create some more pages within it. Like I can even just do a little bit of background here. There's like no pressure for this. So yeah, I'm probably just going to keep adding different bits and pieces here and see how it shapes up. I'm not really thinking about anything in particular here in terms of layout, other than overlapping the different elements. And in a surprise to nobody, I've gone with a neutral theme with a pop of pink, which is my favorite color scheme to work with lately. So I'm just gonna lean into that, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just sort of adding things wherever I think they might fit. I'm trying not to cover the entirety of this page. I still want some of the original book page to show through, but at the same time I do want to build up an interesting like collaged background. And I think what might be nice to do with this would be to have all of these things laid out, and then maybe come in with some like white acrylic paint or some coffee dyeing and do some staining with that, because I think that's an easy way to help the pages look a lot more cohesive. But I'm just focusing on adding my base layer to the page here. And this might be nice to have as a bit of imagery on the page, maybe to break up some of that brown tape that I've got going on there. And that way then, hopefully that sort of brings together these two sides of the page. So let's pop it about there. And I'll just have to make sure then that it's secure. That's the only thing, when you put things over the fold, things tend to pop up a little bit. So let's just glue that down so it's nice and secure. So yeah, I kind of want to go for this sort of look where I've got the white paint going on and having that softness to the background. Something that I really like having on a page. Let's just add this piece as well. I tend to not throw anything out. I just keep the little list of pieces and then think, right, where can I include them on a page? So I might have that over the edge slightly and just trim the excess. Otherwise it might have looked a bit weird just to have that curved edge, I think, on that piece for the page. So yeah, it's getting pretty full. I don't really want to add too much more, maybe some smaller pieces now, just to help bridge some of the gaps that I've got between the larger pieces. And I'm really enjoying the torn edges that I've got from that pink piece as well. Oh, should we go for a bit of this maybe? Here. I feel like that's quite a harsh edge, so maybe I can add that piece there. And I think I'm just going to add a couple of bits of washi tape here as well, just for some extra interest on the pages. I'm loving this one at the moment. It's a Note and Wish washi tape, and I really like the script effect that it's got on the sort of neutral background, and there's little leaves on it as well, which I think is really fun. And maybe let's have a few more pink ones. So let's have some stars, why not? Maybe that one could go here over with the pink. And then I think I just need to no, I think that's looking okay. I don't really know how I decide, other than just it's a feeling of, okay, I think that looks like it's sort of right. I'm just looking to see if I have any more washi tapes I want to add to this page. I've got my little drawers off to the side here, and now I think maybe I've got this little green one. I might add some of this as a bit of a hint of something else. It's got some nice little flowers on it. So maybe we could have this bit, I only want a small little piece really, just to add into a corner somewhere. Maybe we could just add it, no, that feels like it's in the center. I want it on the edge, I think. Let's just add it over here maybe. So I'm gonna add some white paint now to this page. This is just acrylic, and I'm just gonna add it in different sections. A lot of the times I'll put it like over the edge of where I've added a piece, and that way it helps to almost feel like the piece is blending into the page itself. And then there's areas that don't feel as harsh on the page. So like here where I've pushed back that brown element there, So there's no real science to it other than just sort of smooshing around the acrylic paint and seeing where it might sit best on the page. But I definitely think areas like this, it's nice to push back some of that text, and that can help the page to not feel as busy then. So if you did want to add some writing to a page, you can just add the white paint over the top, and then that way you can still see, like there's still that impression of what's gone underneath, but it's not absolutely taking over the page. And I might just add a few little mark making blobs as well, because why not? And also adding it around the edges is another way to help soften some of those corners. And I'm not being too precise with this at all, I'm just sort of moving the brush around in different directions and working the paint into the page, so kind of blending it out until it's not got a harsh edge on it. So I tend to use like older brushes for this, as you can see, just so that I'm not too bothered about the bristles and damaging them or anything. Like I wouldn't obviously use any nice like watercolor brushes for something like this, but just an old brush to be able to push around the white paint on the page. And yeah, it doesn't matter if we can't like still see everything, it just helps to have that softness on the page. And the only thing is, it's quite easy to like go too far with it, so I tend to have to just watch how much I'm adding to the page. So I can kind of feel that this is a central part of the page that's emerging, so I'm definitely thinking, like, you know, in terms of adding text to my page, this is definitely an area that's popping out on this page. So I might need to push some of this text back here, just so that if I did add any text onto this page, then it would be able to be seen. But you can see there the sort of natural focal point almost that's emerging from adding this white paint. So I just really like the effect of the way that that is softening the background. So in terms of a background for this altered book page, I think that is kind of where I would leave it. Maybe I would do some scribbly marks now that I'm thinking about it. Should we add some of those to the page as well? So I'm just gonna use some, I've got a few like Neo colors, the little crayons like this, and I find it fun to just sort of ever so loosely add them to the page. So holding it all the way back here rather than like this, you'll get like loose lines, and just adding it in different sections. And having this color I think really helps to add a pop of something, but without it being super overwhelming, because I'm learning from my pages that I do like to have colors, but I like it to be fairly subtle in the way that I am adding them. So, you know, I might do a few little marks in the corners here and there, but otherwise not like absolutely overwhelming and taking over the page. So shall we grab just another color here? So maybe, no, I didn't want that one. I thought maybe if I just pick from random, because I can't quite see. Let's go for more of this color. So this is a raw sienna, so that sounds about right. So it's matching more the brown that I've got on the page. So I think that's quite a nice way of helping that to sit within the page as well, and carrying over that color throughout the page, even though it's just in tiny little sections. So yeah, trying not to go overboard with this, but just hints of things here and there. And I think that is going to be my finished page in terms of a background. So I'll probably come back and add a focal point to this and also some text, but I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. So I hope you enjoyed joining me for creating this background in my altered book. Maybe you might want to give this technique a try within your journaling too. So Thank you as always for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.